Hi, everybody. It is time. We are here. Well, I'm here. Nekia will be here shortly. We are about to talk about And Just Like That, season 2. And I was happy and surprised that not only did we have one, but 2 episodes to look at. Nekia, I see you. I am huge Sex in the City fans. We've seen every episode. We've seen the movies, and we
Hello.
were there. She
Hi.
is. Hey,
Good
girl. Hey.
afternoon. Looking gorgeous as ever. I love that
Hi.
cream.
Well,
Thank you.
you look amazing. We were just
I
like
know,
texting
right?
with each other while we were doing our
It's
makeup.
like, let me make sure because I just got out of
So
therapy and I'm like, who knows?
I love that you have
I
therapy,
mean,
and then we do
so
this.
I did talk to my therapist and I'm like, girl, can we change dates because we get heavy sometimes in our sessions, and then to go from that to this
Yeah,
is can be a little jarring, just a little. It's a
I
little.
would think
Yes.
so. I would think
Yeah.
so. So, are you
So
going to
I'm gonna
change, or are you going
change
to
the
keep your
dates
therapy
to
date?
Tuesdays instead of Fridays. So yeah. So yeah, I needed to
I
because I was like,
agree with
sometimes
that.
I be in there. So I'm like, I have to be. I may have to make
Girl,
sure.
I get it. Sometimes I
Girl,
am spent. Like after therapy, I need to just
all of
go
that,
curl up in the
a
bed
nap,
and just,
everything. It
it's like a
really
workout,
is. Oh my
right?
Lord. And I didn't, I've been doing my own sessions because like a couple years ago I was doing couples therapy, and then I felt like I needed to delve into some, traumas for myself. And so I didn't know that it was going to be like that, but there was Fridays where I was just like, I just want to be left alone. I'm a little bit emotionally spent. This session was a good session, but other sessions have been a little heavy. So I'm glad she was able to change the date.
Yeah.
But
I am too. I am too.
yes,
It's all working out. It's
happy
all working
Friday.
out. Well, happy Friday to you and to everybody. Let me give a special shout out to my sister Holly Reed, who is here because I had to do a test earlier.
Yes.
Because remember
So
last
wait,
week for
well,
some reason
did you figure out?
it didn't show up on my page when I
It's
went. Girl, I don't know.
okay.
I just said, let me test it. So I did it about 20 minutes ago, and I called my sister. I said, listen, let me know if you see me. And when I popped up live, all my friends, I was saying, hey, and shouting out people. And then I called her back, and she was like, well, you
Oh,
didn't shout me
okay.
out.
Hey,
So,
Holly
hey, Holly
Reed.
Reed.
Holly,
Hello, sibling. Okay.
girl.
So let's get to it. I was
I was so
surprised that there were 2
surprised when
episodes. Were
because
you?
you are the one that actually alerted me of it. I didn't know, and so you're like, there's 2 episodes. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'm feeling that. Yeah, so I was really excited for Thursday to kind of like take my mid morning, about 11 o'clock, to like dive into both episodes back to back. I didn't skip. I didn't like start one and then wait and then start again. No, I did it straight through. So there's a lot to. Speaking of unpacking, there's a lot to
There's a
unpack.
lot.
So I don't know where you want to start, but I do want to start with episode 1. Of course, we'll go in the sequential order, and it's called Met Cute. Girl, that red dress, Nicole. Are you? Did you see the moment I was talking about though? You saw it with Nicole
What,
Ari Parker's
the
dress.
dress?
We'll talk about Carrie's dress, but
No. Nicole Ari Park, that was my favorite
Carrie,
outfit of the episode. That dress, the head and face dress
yes,
that she had to go along with it, it was
I love
hilarity.
her.
She is so talented. I love her so much. I love her
I
on this show, but that moment, her with that thing on her face and her head, but the walk with the train down the street,
gagged.
I was
Okay,
gagging.
so gagged.
Oh,
Yes, I was like, that was the moment. I thought that was actually Carrie, but to my yeah. But to
and
my
yeah.
pleasant surprise, it was no. I was like, she slay all day. This is my girl. I just love me some Nicole Ari Parker. Like that's just not.
she emerging as your favorite of this series? Or let's say, how is she, you know, because for many people, it's the original three, right? It's got to be one of those. But Nichelle Ari Parker is really showing
up.
on this
Okay,
show.
so here's the deal. So my original three, of course, Samantha was my top, and Samantha will always be my top and favorite. But second contender in that, it goes between Carrie and Miranda, and the reason, two different reasons, but it definitely I loved Miranda's strength. You know, I loved that she was a strong woman. She was about, you know, working, and I just everything about her being and her character and the development of her character, it was just very like symbolic to some things that, you know, mentally, like I go through or have gone through. And now she has become my least favorite character on Miranda. Yeah. Yes.
You know what? I got something to say, but go ahead. But I want to chime in on that, where Miranda is right now.
So she has become my least favorite character out of the original four or whatever. But with this new and just like that, definitely Nichelle Ari Parker, who plays Lisa, Todd Westlake, if I'm saying that right, Wesley. LTW. Really, I don't know, something about the character, something about, first of all, who is playing it. I'm so glad. That was just great casting as far as bringing in Nichelle Ari Parker, because she's gorgeous. You know, she's been slaying fashion on and off screen, and I think I am liking some of the dynamics, even though with episode 2 it got kind of cringy, but I am liking some of the dynamics that I'm seeing and some of the like issues that they're bringing up. So her dress, though, hands down, that walk across the street, across New York traffic in this bright, beautiful red, looking like a sexy fire engine. And then the husband's in the back trying to catch her train, and the wind is, it gave me everything. That was just like the life moment. And I was like, that's the moment I saw on the photo. Yes.
Yeah, it was incredible. I want, like, she earned an invitation if she has never received one before to the Met Ball. She earned an invite to go next year and walk those stairs. I mean, she really did. It was just incredible. So yes, I'm loving her too. Let me chime in about Miranda. I have lots to say about Miranda. And listen, last season, it wasn't just that she left Steve suddenly and was just like, and you know, just abandoned her teenage son and all these things. Listen, I get you love who you love, and she didn't love her husband anymore, and she wanted to be fulfilled and didn't want to be in this loveless marriage. But I had a problem with the way that it went down, right? Behind Steve's back, cheating on him, in Carrie's apartment. I mean, we talked about it all last season. So I have to say that this season, what I believe they're trying to do, and I read from one of the producers that this is what they're trying to do because of the character Steve, that they're trying to make Che more likable. There was that moment, you know, where she talked about her weight issues. Like, we're getting to see layers of Che. And I like the two of them as a couple. I'm starting to really like them together. But the one thing that I do not like, and I made a note of this, girl, I got a whole book. I was like, I made a note of it. What I am not liking about Miranda is just what you were talking about. I loved her during the series and the first 2 movies because she was so strong and decisive. And I get she's trying something new. She's trying to change her life completely. But she like when she was fumbling in the comedy club, like she's so apologetic for existing. And it's so, oh, I'm so in the way. Like, who is she? Okay, you've got a new love. Okay, embrace that, own that. But why does she have to abandon everything that made her who she was and who we loved for her strength and everything. Like, she's so just,
Girl.
like, it's just on my nerves that she is just like such a weakling now. She's just apologizing for breathing and just everything is so. Every time we see her, it's, you know, she's getting stuck in the water pod, or she's getting left. All those people at the beach that she could have, before they left, said, hey, I lost my phone. Can you give me a ride? Can I use your phone? She's out there digging through seaweed. There were plenty of people when she realized she did not have her phone. That shit, like, what? Why does she have to be such a damsel in distress? All of a sudden, it is on my last nerve, and I don't like
all of
it.
That you said is exactly what I was going to say. She's starting to get on my nerves. She is acting very and it's driving me insane. Yes. It's like, stand up, you know, girl, pull up the bootstraps, whatever the fuck you got to do. Please get it together. I completely, you know, concur, and I want to piggyback off of that. They pissed me off. I don't know why in the first episode we're just gonna skip over the Steve divorce and not try to at least like give me some more meat and juice. As you said, our last live that we did, Steve was a very integral part of Miranda's growth and her storyline, and, you know, involving Brady and where the fuck is Brady? All of a sudden he didn't went to some college and now he's non-existent. I just don't like how they have reduced Steve down to just something in Miranda's way, an obstacle in Miranda's way. And now that Miranda is on a journey to finding who she is or what she loves or whatever it is, Steve in the process just gets tossed to the back burner. And it just is giving me the vibes of it in Sex and the City when Miranda treated Steve shittily. She did it then, and it's just reminiscent of that. And I'm just not here for that. At least give Steve some respect and dignity and just the character as a whole.
An apology.
Yes.
Let's give him an apology from Miranda. And let's at least, we are, those of us who are diehard fans, we feel for Steve, and we deserve as fans, as diehard fans, to see something from Steve, him moving on, falling in love. You know what I mean? Licking his wounds, but, you know, finding love. Like, we deserve to see that this season. You know, I don't want to see him just like, we're not even dealing with it, to your point. And I'd love to see, can you do a FaceTime with your son? Can y'all text back and forth? Does he just not exist? Have you abandoned all that was dear to you before so that you can be in this relationship? I mean, it's irresponsible at its height. And see, I'm all for, you know, her, because I said, you know what I discovered about Miranda? What bothered me last season was there was not even a hint, in my opinion, that she was going to go this route and have a relationship with a woman. I didn't see that in all the seasons of the show, in the movies. I didn't catch that, right? So, okay, maybe that's why she was so abrasive in her relationships, because it wasn't right for her. Maybe there's this, okay, I give you that, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to carry on. It doesn't excuse her from treating Steve the way that she did, from just leaving New York where her son is, leaving her marriage, sneaking around on her marriage, and abandoning her son, who is very troubled, right? Spoiled right. She spoiled him, and then she left him. I mean, come on. She is a mother. Motherhood is a big part of her storyline. And, you know, you can't just, for the sake of making sure you have something steamy, and boy, does she have the steamy sex scenes. She always does, right? You know, Cynthia Nixon is not afraid to give us TNA and C. Not at all, right? Not shy about that at all. She will give it to you. But I'm like, listen, okay, great. But also, let's not abandon, like let's not just detach her from what we knew her to be. The lawyering, like, that's gone. You know, all of a sudden she's not a smart woman. She's just out here just making bad decisions. She's in a great relationship, and even with that, she's uh, you didn't call me, or why can't I go with you? And like that's her the whole time. Really, that's what we doing with Miranda.
Right. Like,
That's what
who
she
made
is
this
now.
decision? And it's literally, it's kind of making me repulsed. I'm kind of just like, as happy as I want to, because I'm all about, like, yes, eventually you change and things happen, and that may not be the space for you anymore. However, I don't think that on your way to a new journey, you need to destroy those in the process. And so,
I mean, she just put some gasoline on it and lit it up like Angela Bassett
out
in Waiting to Exhale. She was just out.
There's no, that's another thing too that's bothering me, Steve. And you had dedicated an exorbitant amount of, years and energy with each other, and you mean to fucking tell me you're not having any? I'm sorry, like, because I got annoyed. I'm sorry. And you mean to tell me that you're not a second, like, not a moment of, like, let me fix what I've messed up over here. I mean, yes, right. You're in LA with Che, but Che has a whole life, is doing a whole TV show, is spending hours on hours, whether it's doing the stand-up or, preparing lines. Find something to do. And what you should do is call your son and call your ex-husband and really, like, hash that all out. Because to me, it's still very unfinished, undone. You have unfinished business. You left on some just like, I just want to get away, and just sporadic, and just, it's sloppy. It's really sloppy. So I was very upset when I turned it on. I could have thrown my remote, and I told you I saw a photo last time we were live. I saw a photo of Miranda and Che in bed and looking kiki and and snuggly buggly, and absolutely it was a no for me. I would have loved the first episode to at least maybe even Steve calling and, like, trying to figure out a resolution, or something happened with Brady.
I want to see her. I would love to see the writers let her, if she's gonna stay in LA or whatever, go back to New York and do right by Steve. Meet with him, apologize, explain herself. You know what I mean? Like, give him some closure.
He deserves.
Which he deserves.
No,
I mean, it's just not
right. And I mean, literally could bitch about it all day, because I was watching, and I like, it kind of turned off my experience for the whole episode, because I'm like, I knew they were going to do this. I had a feeling, and that's why I mentioned it to you. I'm like, I'm not going to read too much into just seeing, like, still photos. I didn't read any of the caption. I just saw still images. Girl.
Y'all, for those of y'all joining us for the first time, let me just say, we learned last season we learned from Nekia. She does not like spoilers of any kind, including the scenes for next week. She does not want to watch them talk about anything upcoming.
No.
I am the opposite. I want to know as much as I can before the next episode comes out. So this is where we differ. But she is adamant about this, you guys. She don't want to see nothing.
I try to, like, turn the remote really quickly when they say coming up next. No, shut up. Leave me. Yes, I totally X out. I'm not trying to hear it. I just, give me it as a surprise. I love surprise content. Like, so I can really give my emotion, girl. Like, I feel it's authentic. Like, oh, no, she didn't. Because I talk to my TV. I literally,
oh my God.
Listen, I sit here and talk. Like, I know this girl is not about to.
I mean, it doesn't take away from the experience for me, but I want to read everything, watch everything leading up to it. I wanted to know that Tony Danza was going to be a part of this. And in fact, let me correct myself. I was saying Tony Danza was going to be Che's father, but he's actually, and it didn't make sense to me because he's Italian, but he is actually, as we saw, going to play her father in her sitcom series. But I love that. I love him so much. So it was good to see him. I love him in everything. He's such a lovely person. So that's good to see him.
It wasn't C and C had I, because I was going in with the mindset that he was going to play her dad.
Right. But see how surprised were you that I got that wrong? See, wasn't that lovely? Wasn't that? You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're probably like, oh my God, he's not her father. He plays her father on TV. Wasn't that a nugget for you?
Thank goodness, because I was a little put off once you told me he was going to be playing her dad. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That's the nationality. And then and I'm so happy because it did not make sense. And it really helped tell the story. Like, she was looking kind of crazy, like, how are you going to play my dad? This don't make any sense either. Or that thing. Yes.
But it was a great solution. It was a great solution. So we got to talk about about the other ladies. Do you want to talk about oh boy, do you want to talk about Carrie and her so the Met Gala? Can we talk about that situation with that young designer? And I was feeling for the sister, but I was like, baby, I would have been like, get it. Like, when I tell you, I would not have worn that cape.
No.
I wouldn't have even worn the cape. I would have been like, get out.
I'm telling you, Carrie,
get out.
The patience. Kudos to her, because the young girl, I'm like, girl, you need to figure this out. And like, why don't we have a plan B? Why don't we have a plan C? Why don't we have a plan? Everybody can't have the stomach flu. Like, let's figure this out. Now, I don't know how it is in New York when the Met Gala is happening, or any other area, but I'm pretty sure a lot of designers are busy and a lot of seamstresses are busy. But it's freaking New York. New York is full of fashion designers.
And for this young designer, it's like, this is your big opportunity. Get it together. And I get things happen. And listen, it was a moment when something happened in this young woman's life. And clearly, the way she was talking to her husband, girl, I was like, oh my God, he must really love her. Because my goodness, I was like, I get she's under pressure and everything, but geez. But I think Carrie just showed beyond tremendous grace, because there is no way. I would have just not gone. I would have just been like, you know what? I'm just not going to go. I would not have, but I think it all worked out. And obviously this was a way for the writers to come up with a reason for her to wear this dress. From the first movie, the famous,
dress.
She never got married in it. The one where she pushed on big and threw the flowers at him. She whipped his behind. But yeah, so she kept it, never wore it, right? Because she wore that suit when they actually got married. So she wore it that one time when she was jilted. So, well, kind of jilted. But anyway, yeah, that was interesting. And then she ended her relationship with the producer guy.
As I'm watching it, episode 1, episode 2, I could tell the way in which they're writing that relationship, because if I remember, I don't know if it was the first episode or the second episode, but I think it was the first, where they're showing everyone coming into their relation, or turning the lights off. They have sexy,
Girl,
sexy lingerie.
I love that.
And then Carrie turns off the light. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like she only got into bed and they were just working. They didn't really. Did they have sex? Okay.
No, there was some. Yeah, they did. It was a scene a little bit later. Yeah, because there was these complaints last season that this is a spinoff of Sex and the City. Where's the sex? So it was interesting that they started this season off, that first episode, with all the women. We got some sex this season. First 2 episodes, the sex is back in the city.
But the thing about it is, like, yes, it is a spinoff from Sex and the City, but the title doesn't have sex in it anymore. It's just
because
Yeah.
they didn't want to call it the same thing, and so they took it in just
I
like
didn't
that.
know
But people
that.
were complaining about that with these characters, yeah, they were saying, "Come on, and I'm happy that not only is the sex back in the city, but that it's everybody doesn't have to be skinny. We've got a variety of body types, of these women. We're seeing all the curves and all the lusciousness of the different body shapes. Everybody doesn't have to be this size 4, size 6, or whatever. It's a variety of bodies. And I love that when they were showing those sex scenes and the women, showing their backs and breasts and all those things. I thought it was really, that's what I loved most
No,
about
I really
episode
like
1 and
that.
episode 2.
I kind of feel like I'm so glad that they showed sex. And this is my reason why. Because for some reason, society has this ideology that women either are sitting in a corner knitting sweaters all day and never have any type of sexual desire, or they're just, too overwhelmed with, mommy life, that or life in general, that intimacy between their partners doesn't happen. And so I do like the fact that they didn't make this like a Golden Girls thing. And even in Golden Girls, Blanche was getting dick down. I mean, let's just be real.
Blanche was the Kim Cattrall. Before there was Kim Cattrall, there was Blanche.
So I do like.
Yes. Blanche slept around so that Kim Cattrall could
do all of them.
Do all the
things. It makes me feel really good that they're allowing women to tap into their sexual side as well as intimacy between couples, and not just making it, because I do know that there are some fans who are like, oh, well, they're too old and I don't want to see them having sex, and women aren't doing that, and why are you making these women hoes? And it's like, bruh, they're having sex with their husband. Like, relax. It's going to be okay. Not everybody's clutching their pearls. And episode 2, they kind of delve into that, like, respectability politics and like what you think somebody at a certain age should be doing, and that ain't always the case. Like, let people live, let them enjoy things, let them live their life how they feel and see fit. So yes, I am glad that they were, letting them all hang out, saggy boobs, perky boobs, whatever it is, and just.
I am happy about that. So some Conscious Cuisine said Blanche got it in. She sure did. And Thomas R said, what good would it be if they're not having sex in the city? It would be kind of boring. What are they, librarians now? Exactly that. And it's like, yeah, I'm glad that they're having sex, but they're showing them having sex. A lot of times when they show women of a certain, over a certain age, if you're not in your 20s and you're having sex, it's like, they just, we kiss and then we fade away, right? They're showing the sex scenes, and I'm happy about that. But I'm happy that Carrie is moving on so we can make room for Aiden and possibly Peter Herman.
But I guess what I was going to say is I also kind of noticed too within the first 2 episodes that they're like, the chemistry died really quickly between her and the producer. I don't know. I started to feel like
she didn't. I don't think that there was anything beyond sex. Like, if you notice, like when there was a moment in the first episode where he walked into the studio, and it wasn't like her eyes lit up or her energy. She was like, oh, hey. Like, I don't think that was what that was. I think that he was a stepping stone for her to go move past her grief and get back out into the dating world. He was a transitional guy for her. And it is, and I'm glad that she was mature enough and wise enough to say that to him. When he wanted to take it from Thursdays and add a Tuesday, and, he clearly wanted something more, she was like, I'm not ready for that. And I love the way that they decided to part ways. That he was like, you know what, I want more. She was like, you know what, I don't. We're cool. You know what I mean? It didn't have to be a big knockdown drag out. She was honest about her feelings, but the chemistry wasn't there. It just wasn't.
As a viewer, I was like, okay, yeah, he's cute. I don't know. you know, like from last season, why did I think he had blonde hair? I have no clue, but
Ooh, you didn't pay any attention to him, bro. I liked him. I knew that was happening. I liked him, and I was like, but
wait, what?
hold on. Let me turn my
Okay.
page. Hold on. Can we talk about Gary, Dourdan, Toussaint? Girl, I screamed.
Now that's probably why I didn't pay attention to him, because when I said hello, green eye Shaka Zulu, okay, Shaka Zulu.
Come on. I was like,
Exactly.
yes, now we're talking. And they better have a relationship. Something better happen. That husband can kick. Naya's husband can kick rocks. Get out of here. You got some girl in your room writing songs in your hotel room at 9:30 at night? Like, that's early? Are you kidding me?
It's night here, and that makes it fun. I'm sorry. Did that make it better?
We all have our clothes on, and I haven't cheated yet.
So
he said I have not cheated yet.
Girl, listen.
Girl,
when I tell you, I was like, green eyes versus that. Like, girl, forget about it. Forget about it. Yes.
I mean, it's like, bye-bye. You on tour, have fun.
You could tell her to go, hey, my lady's calling. Give me 5 to 10 minutes. I want to get a little.
Girl, why is she in your room? Why is she in your room? Go to the bar. Go to the lobby and write songs. Go to a studio in your room. And you're married?
Like, oh, I don't want to talk to my wife. Excuse you? No, you can give me 10 minutes.
Girl, I would have been like, you're going to have to exit. This is my wife. Her husband also said he hadn't cheated yet. That's what I just said. He's talking about, I haven't cheated yet. Baby, I would have been at a divorce attorney's office the next day. We're done. And I would be back at that bar every day until Toussaint came back. I would be posted up, and I have the tiniest little bag, so I wouldn't have anything to block him. I would be like, have a seat.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
I tell you, I literally was like, yes. Yeah, when he came on screen, because he has done. Listen,
the
he
voice
has done it for me since a different world, girl. Since a different world, okay. And he is just like,
come on,
oozes sex appeal. I mean, I've never seen a man just be a walking. He looks like a walking penis. I mean, like, literally, he's so sexy. A good-looking one, not an ugly one. Like a good-looking one. It's like, enter me. So handsome.
Girl, when he popped up, I was like, say what now? Say what now?
And then I'm like, jump on that. What are you waiting for? Jump on it. I hope he's like the owner of the bar or something, low key. Girl, something like something. The promoter.
What I will not stand for. And I hope the writers are tuned in, because I might need to write an email. What I will not stand for is for he and Nia to hook up, because my prediction is that's going to happen. For them to hook up in some kind of way, and that they make him out to be somebody that's not good, like have some, like they do a lot on Sex in the City. Like, is some guy with something going? No, let's keep him perfect. If it doesn't work out, if she wants to go back to her sorry ass, soon to be cheating husband, then okay. But don't make him out. Let him be perfect. Let the black man be perfect.
Because don't give him
if it don't work out, it's because of her.
And then like you said, with Sex in the City, the man had erectile dysfunction, or he wore a girdle, or something wild, something crazy. Right? Always. That's how.
Right.
Yes.
That's the Sex in the City way. It's always something crazy with the guy.
He comes. He calls you a cunt bitch whore before he comes.
I remember the guy that was afraid of mice.
Like, he screams. Yeah, it's always something that gives them the ick. So I feel like.
Remember the guy that wanted to pee on Carrie, the senator?
That episode cracks me up into this day, because Okay, let me spill my tea. I had a boyfriend that wanted me to do the same thing, and I.
Okay. Okay. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. See, this is what happens when you go to therapy before you do this live. You say too much. I don't want to know that. Because now I can't get that out of my mind. Now we have to do a whole live on that. Are you kidding me right now? How dare you? Somebody saying good night. How dare you? Like, how do we even talk about anything else? Nekia.
Dead.
Seriously? How do you just this is your fault for going to therapy before we did this live. No more. Next third, I'm not doing it next week if you don't change your therapy date. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. How dare you? I can think of nothing else. I can't. We're done here. I'm gonna close my book. We're done here. We're done for today. I cannot. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
I was younger, and I was literally like totally related to that episode because I was like, oh my God, that has happened to me. I did not know what to do. It's such a it was such a
I am not alone.
Take you back, and then you go through this thing because it's like, I want to experience every part of what comes out. And so it seemed sweet at the time in my mind. It seemed sweet. And and it freaked me out at the same time. I'm like, what? Like, what is going through your mind? My urine is not that magical. I promise you. I promise. I'm sorry, y'all. This might be a little rated G right now, but I just wanted to be honest.
G? I mean, not G. Did you say G?
R, rated R, whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
X. We're in the X territory now. We're going to put a rating on our IG lives now.
I'm sorry.
Children could have been
watching it just like that. Okay. Now I'm sweating. Oh God.
Oh,
that was funny.
My God. How do we recover from that? How do we recover from that? Can we talk? Wait, let me try. Since we're laughing, let's talk about Mario Cantone, who is having the best one-liners. Girl, when he talked about the pinky ring in the second episode that he returned that Charlotte gave him, and he was like, "Who wears pinky wings?" The soprano. Girl, I ran out of the room. That was so funny.
I got Oh,
he has had the best one-liner.
Somebody said,
"Girl, he's like, you got Lyme disease. I didn't kick you out of a moving car." Girl, the lines. He is like so on fire. Thomas is like rating us X.
He is so funny. I totally love him. He keeps the comical side of everything going to me.
See, you can't even move past what you said, can you? You can't let it
go. Lord. No, but he...
You know what else was funny, though? Girl, in episode 2, when Carrie and Charlotte went to that Real Deal consignment store, and Carrie had that doggone Pigeon purse, and she opened it up and pulled that gum out, in the way that the girl working at the clerk at the register looked at her, I was like, thank you, because sometimes Carrie will make some crazy fashion choices. I mean, there was no strap. Pigeon. She was literally carrying a pigeon.
Please. like some of it is like really daring, and I love that, and I love it's like edgy. But then some of it, I'm like, Carrie, what's
What we
happening?
doing? Right? Some of it
Yeah,
is like,
it's
it's a little too far. And so I'm glad that they kind of made fun of themselves and her by having that girl look, because a lot of
nobody.
times it's just
They act
nobody
like
says
it's
anything
normal,
about
and
it.
so it gives this illusion or this false narrative that you go to New York and you can be so eccentric with your fashion, and nobody will bat an eye. But I don't believe that that's all the way true. What do you, is that what goes?
There's some truth to it. There's a
Is it?
lot of eccentricity in New York, and people, yeah. I mean, but it may not. There is a lot of that. Maybe not to that extent, but there is a lot of that. I mean, New York is where I learned that no matter what the dress code may be, you can just wear what you want to wear. You can just wear what you want to wear. People show up because you're moving from place to place a lot of times, from event to event. And a lot of times people don't have a chance to go back home and change. You know, I stopped. New York is where I learned to stop dressing black tie. If it says black tie, I'm not wearing black tie. I wear a cocktail dress, or I'll wear something that's, a step up from business or casual. But I do not do black tie. And New York is where I got. You
Mm-hmm.
can see people in anything, and so those girls with Sex in the City, yes, you see women dressed to the nines too, but you also see a very stepped up casual street style, as we were talking about in the
Okay.
last episode, in New York as well. So yes, you can see people. I would not be surprised if I went somewhere and
Really?
saw somebody carrying a pigeon purse. I wouldn't in
Okay. Okay.
New
So
York. No, no,
okay. So you could go as
no.
far as you want on the spectrum. I I like that. I mean, I
You
like
really
it, but I
can.
also think like I was trying to figure out if her carrying that pigeon purse was just the Sex in the City thing, or is it a possibility that you can go and walk the New York streets and see some really crazy, outlandish things? So I'm glad to know that they kept it on,
You can.
kept it really authentic and kept it on brand. But yes,
Yeah, it's not it's not common that you would see a pigeon purse, but you will see something out of sorts to what you would wear and what you see as normal for people to wear. It's not That's why New Yorkers are immune to certain things, because you could be somewhere and somebody, has a pigeon on their head, or an iguana sitting on a subway car. I've been on a subway car and
oh
there was
my
like
god,
somebody with this
I
huge
would freak
iguana, and it was
out.
like, are we going to act like this is not weird? I mean, but it's just like, we were all there. The thing was sitting on this man's lap. It was a crowded, I got on the subway one time and a guy had not the handle, but the head of an axe just sitting in his
Yeah,
lap.
girl. Yeah. For me,
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, New
yeah.
York is just, it's a strange place. But that's what a lot of people love. That's what a lot of people love. Can I talk about how much I love the HBCU Morehouse shout out? And even though I'm not a member of AKA, I have on green today. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. But I love that they show Black Greek life. Like, I love that. But what did you think
Didn't like
about
her.
LTW's mother-in-law, and what's her reaction to her son reacting to a cab not stopping for him because he's a Black man, and embarrassing him in front of his daughter? Do you think the mother-in-law was right to say that even when those things happen, we have to hold on to
No,
our
no.
dignity as a people?
No. And that's where I was talking about, or hitting on, when I was talking about respectability politics. I don't like her.
Yes.
First and foremost, where she rubbed me the wrong way last season with her, like everybody kowtowing to her and what she wants and her needs and what she thinks is good or bad or whatever, and trying to appease her thoughts. I don't give a damn what you think. Now I don't know if she is paying the bill on their house or what. Because why are we, as two parents, as two working parents, because you don't like afros? That seems anti-Black to me. That seems like some self-hate stuff. You can't have the daughter wear her natural curls, and we got to rush and do her hair really quickly to make sure mother-in-law comes over and is not. Then mom you don't need to come over for a while until you can get your mind right, because it's a no for me. So between that and his stress of always trying to, I understand respecting your mom, you know, especially if you're in her house or you were younger, but no, but
I don't know if
I'm
that's
not
her
even
house
saying
though.
that
I
being
didn't get
her
the
house.
anything.
I'm saying when he was younger or something, because he was coming off very
Got
mama's
you.
boy and
Yeah.
couldn't speak up, or he was getting on my nerves, the husband, not like checking her with this and talking real nasty. Now you coming from my girl Lisa, LTW, we got a problem.
LTW girl. But she also fell in line to a certain extent with her mother-in-law. But I'd
Yes.
love to see them deal with that this season. I'd love to see some layers behind why the mother-in-law is the way that she is. And I'd love for her to,
Yes.
I'd love to see some growth there. Like, I'd love for them to deal with that. It was interesting what she said about the history of, you know, her husband and what he had to deal with. I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting that
Right.
LTW agreed
Right.
with
Now,
her
and
when it
I
came
mean,
to
for
that.
in
You
the
know?
instance of not, you know, it's unsafe for your husband as a black male to do something that could potentially put him in jail, and then now or his daughter
Or his
right there.
daughter
Yeah, so
right there.
I mean, I understand from that perspective, to, you know, hold this, you know, and I give air quotes to dignity, because to me, that's the problem. I feel like a lot of, you know, when you feel like you've done the right thing, and this has been kind of the commentary going on social media, when you feel like you've been doing the right things and all the things to get this respect, and then you don't get whatever the prize is, whether it be a man, whether it be a cab, whether it be the job, because I've lived this respectful way and this quote unquote manner on how you should be. It really messes with your psyche as a man, as a father, as a, you know, here you are doing all the right things and you still can't get the respect. So what if one time I kind of lose my cool? I don't think that he should have been completely looked down upon with the mom. She didn't even want to like interact with her son.
Yeah.
Find out what was going on, you know?
That was crazy. Yeah. I mean, she
Yeah.
ignored her granddaughter.
Yeah, that was just,
like, that was crazy
no.
to me. That part I didn't like. I could understand you being upset with your son, but wanting to keep up appearances so much that you're going to ignore your granddaughter and like
And then
act
what
like
is
you
that
don't know
saying
them.
about you?
That
I
was a
mean,
bit
like, you're trying to impress people that are not paying your bills. I mean, yeah, they're your, you know, sisters, but I just like, no, I don't feel like we're human. We all have emotions, and yes, did he not handle that situation maybe the best that he could have handled it, especially with two children right there? No, he didn't. Granted, that's facts. But at the same token, I feel that there is room to have emotions. It may not look the best all the time. You know, you can't always, your composure is not always the best in public or even in private. As long as to me, you didn't put your hands on anybody. He banged the car. I mean, I've seen bikers here in Chicago bang the car like that because they feel like they own the road. But, you know, at the end of the day, the grandma or mom or whatever is just as wrong to me. I just don't like her vibe. She gives me, a nasty older grandmother vibe that I just don't like.
Yeah. I'd like to see them give some depth to her, and I'd like to know more of her story and who she, you know, who she really is at her core. And I'd like to see her, like I said, I'd love to see her involved. Okay, we haven't talked about our girl Charlotte at all.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I feel like these past 2 episodes, her storyline didn't really give me much to talk about. I mean, yeah, I was kind of like, there goes Charlotte being Charlotte, getting all up in arms. What I will say is, why didn't Charlotte get Lily the little sound thing or whatever it is that Lily wanted? Lily has been up in every sense of the world, in every sense of the word.
Child.
And y'all couldn't have come with your coins together to give that child that one thing. So much so that she decided to take it in her own hands and sell her clothes. And now you're up in arms and pitter-pattering around trying to get some old clothes that don't have any sentimental value for her. She just wants to make some music. Why is that? Why are you?
Yeah. I don't know. That didn't make sense to me. It really didn't make sense. They had the money to buy it. She didn't have to. That didn't make sense to me. But I still love Charlotte. I still have love for her. I want to see. I just want to see a little bit more with her storyline, not with her marriage. I want the marriage to stay intact. I don't think that to make somebody interesting, you have to blow up their love life. They've had a great love life thus far. Let that continue. Give it something else. Have her open up her gallery, go back to work. Something like that. After she hasn't worked for so, like, give me something like that. But
don't do it.
We're
still not recovering from Steve. So please, I mean, you involved us with, Harry and his whole religion and all of that. Like, let's just keep Harry. Let's just keep, we had 2 now, Chris Noth had to go because of other reasons, but he was a pivotal character, died off, so there's no resurrecting. It can't be like, it was a fake death. We can't do that. He's gone. And then we have Steve, that character is gone as well. So, like, leave at least Harry, just leave him in there. Let him be. Let him do, and figure something else out for Charlotte. I feel like Charlotte is bored, and she is making a mountain out of a molehill with the whole Lily thing. I mean, I don't understand. I like, just get the. So somebody said Lily has a 10K piano. The keyboard wasn't necessarily necessary in Charlotte and Harry's eyes. I don't know. I just feel like it was, for whatever reason, she felt like she needed it. What's another, 3K? It's a keyboard. I can't imagine it being anything as close to 10K like that piano. I mean, and to me, kind of like a grand piano is definitely a Charlotte style. That's something that Charlotte would enjoy too.
Right. And Charlotte wants Lily to emulate her life, right? She wants Lily to be this perfect girly girl, play the piano, go to Juilliard or Harvard or something. She wants her just to be this girly girl, perfect girl. And, she's rebelling a little bit, Her sister rebelled before, and now, we're seeing a little bit of that from Lily. So it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward with that. But yeah, I want to see a little more interesting thing. They're giving Miranda all this time with all this craziness.
Girl, I did not understand that. When I tell you that episode irritated me, I did not understand why, in God's name, like you said, there were so many people on the beach. You didn't just voice up and say, hey, you're, like you said, looking through seaweed.
Can somebody give me a ride? I lost my phone.
Let's talk about the whole, like, once she finally got a ride, though. Bubble is so busted.
Jay's husband, who she is still married to, and Oliver Hudson, who is one of my faves, Goldie Hawn's son. I love him and everything. He is, he always shows up. Right. I know we're going to see more of him because of who he is, right? So it'll be interesting to see how he plays into everything,
girl, when I said,
right?
When you said, oh, we used to be married, I said, whoop. Right. Well, that
he said, Still married.
Still married, and I'm thinking, now, don't you feel salty? You, to me, that's very telling, though, that Che hasn't opened up and said that, because here you are busting up your whole marriage for this man, or I'm sorry, for Che, and then now Che ain't busting up.
Che got a whole husband that you didn't know nothing about. But you see how Miranda, you know, was all puffed up when they, I mean, girl, stop. And then it was over in 5 minutes. As soon as Che was like, no, let's not let that be about this. Let's, you know,
Right.
da da da, and then it's over. I'm sorry, girl. They need, the writers need to get Miranda
the writers
together.
are on strike or what happened with that, but like, I know
well, this happened before. This was all done before the strike.
I'm just talking shit.
I'm
just talking smack. Okay, that's all I'm doing right now. Yeah, like, because when somebody dropped the ball on the writing for Miranda, in my opinion. I mean, girl, like, no, ain't no forgetting about it. Let's talk about it, because now I'm just finding this out. What does this look like? What's happening here? I mean, yes, you're with me, but I'm about to bust up my stuff. Yeah.
Tell me the story. I just need to know the backstory, because I have given up everything. Not that you asked me to, that was my stupidity, but I've given up everything. At least have the self-respect, Miranda, to ask what's going on. And does she have a kid under the bed? Does she have you know?
I knew. I said, this is not a Miranda that I'm liking, or that I even know. I don't even recognize who this is. I don't know that woman. I'm sorry. I do not. Don't know. In the words of Kiki, I do not know that woman. I just don't. I don't know who she is.
I don't know who she is. I don't know what they're trying to do.
Like, pull it together. She has one more time to stumble and fumble, and then I'm completely done with her. I'm trying to kind of hold on, because I'm holding on to the Miranda that I once knew. And again, I don't mind evolving. If you want to, you know, love who you love who you love. What I'm saying is,
I'm all for that, but that doesn't mean that your entire personality and being has to change. And I didn't get that happened.
It's not for the life of me. I mean, she's letting things that are clearly, like, I don't want to say red flags, but definitely things that need to address. She's not addressing them. She's letting them go by the wayside. She's over there freaking out, calling Naya. I didn't realize that they've grown a budding friendship, but they have. And calling Naya fluttery and buttery, and not like, I would expect her to be the sound one. And she was always with all the girls. She was the one saying, like, putting her foot down, like, this is what. And, you know, some people called it judgy. Some people, you know, tough love. However you want to look at it. Yeah.
Well, it was tough love, though. And she was usually right about a lot of stuff. It was tough love.
Or maybe even cynical, but at the end of the day, she was right, and she knew her friends, and she knew, I don't want to say what was best for them, but she definitely was looking out for them. Now it's like they need to look out for her. And that is what's throwing me. I cannot get on board with it.
They're not. They're all accepting. I mean, nobody's even saying, hey, what about Steve? Did you call him? Did you send him a postcard? Did you, you know what I mean? Like, anything?
Yeah.
I just, we're on the same page with that. We're on the same page with that.
Yes, we
Well, we are almost out of time since we started on time. Any last thoughts about anything that stood out to you? I know we're not going to talk about predictions, because you don't want to go there, but any last thoughts, anything we didn't talk about from the first 2 episodes? I'm glad that you're back.
Touch on predictions if you want to. I don't mind it. But I do want to just talk about, and you briefly mentioned this, I do like that they are talking about weight issues and things like that are normal. I mean, like, that happen to things and what meant that people in
New York
or in even LA, you know, wanting to be skinny, wanting to change your image and who you are and what you stand for and what you represent when you start to do TV, and how you know, you think that you're coming in this situation that people are wanting to embrace who you are wholly, and no, they're going to change you. They want to make you more light skinned. They want to make you skinnier. They want, you know, so I really like how they showed that. I do think that, like you said, and I've been noticing that they are trying to really keep Che in this. I think it's because of Cynthia Nixon's relationship with I think her name is Sarah, right? Who plays Che? What's her name? Sarah.
Oh, her name is
okay.
Sarah
Yeah,
Ramirez.
so I think aren't they like cool off screen? Or I heard it. I heard some.
I mean, I don't know if they knew each other. I mean, they probably knew each other just from acting. I don't know if they're friends or anything off screen before this series came about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I love Sarah
Ramirez had mentioned that, like, Cynthia Nixon had came and said, I want you on the show or whatever, or incorporate you into the show. And I did send you a text earlier today from when they, Seema, we didn't get to talk about Seema, but Seema and the woman who plays Seema, and then Karen Pittman were on GMA this morning. But to me, that was like super late promotions. I don't know if they're just trying to do it as the show is airing. Yeah.
It's just weird. I think it's really weird. And of course, all of them, you know, Diane Sawyer did an interview with Sarah Jessica Parker earlier this week. And of course, the Kim Cattrall thing comes up. And, you know, we'll see how it plays out. Sarah was saying, well, we were disappointed that it leaked out. She said, but at least how it plays out in the script and in the show has not leaked out yet. So, you know, I've seen some things, but you know, with her saying that, I'm like, maybe what's out there isn't true. So I can't wait. The only thing I heard that was going to happen in the last episode, and that it was going to be just voice, not her face. But you know, like Tony Danza, that could be wrong. But I like Seema. I like how hardcore Seema is, but it's almost too much. Like, I definitely would not date a guy who, if I really was into him, if it was just sex, I wouldn't care. But if I was really into him, I would have a problem with him living in the same household as his ex-wife. That just, you know, even if they lived on different floors, I mean, I don't care. He's got all this money. Man, get your own place. You know what I mean? Get your own place.
Right.
Like that, y'all work that out, because, you know, you go up for a cup of sugar and then next to you in the bed.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
Honey.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm not.
No,
I don't blame her for that.
Either. Are you kidding me? I'm not doing that. It's a no for me. I don't even want, like, I don't even want to get into that. But like, it's like it's absolutely not for me. So yeah, no, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, like you said, there's some things that I'm feeling is a little forced within these 2 episodes. Hopefully they work out that kink. I don't know what it is. Maybe, you know, the first 2 episodes were a little rough and things start to kind of smooth out. But like, yeah, if Seema is more of a free spirit, let that happen. Don't force, you know, relationships. And that one was just icky wicky, all, you know, all up and down. So yeah, I'm excited to see what episode 3 brings. You know, I do believe there was some highlights in episodes 1 and 2 for me, but part of it was a little lukewarm. And so I'm like, ugh, you know, the Miranda thing was annoying me. You know, there were some elements that was really like not making me like happy as a viewer should be.
Yeah. I say get to Aiden. I need Aiden to pop up in episode 3.
I can't wait to see Aiden. He's so tall and like
I cannot wait.
So tall and like,
but like I said last time, he needs to have a moment. He needs to, just like Steve deserves a moment, Aiden deserves a moment to say, you know what? I'm glad we reconnected, but this is not for me.
Leave her.
And say, you know, you just were so wrong, and, you know, just have some closure. I just want him to have
deserve
some closure.
Definitely Steve. Aiden definitely does.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see when they bring Aiden and when they bring Samantha.
I know.
It's been fun.
It's coming.
See you
All
next
right,
week.
lady. Well, this has been fantastic. Yes, we'll see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back here at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central next Friday to talk about the next episode of And
All
Just
right.
Like That.
Bye.